Hi, my name is Michael Hartsfield. I am the director of the Mount St. Joseph Drama Club, and it is my pleasure to welcome you here for our first ever Mount St. Joseph Drama Club film production. Obviously, we would normally be on stage and I would be welcoming you to the theater and telling you to silence your cell phones and all of those great things. But of course, this year we were unable to do that. We are extremely excited that we were able to find this creative alternative, and we're certainly thankful to the administration for giving us this opportunity. And we're excited about the result, right? The kids work very hard, staff and crew work very hard. And in just a minute or so, we will start the production. I will just say, as a side note, one of the lessons we learned doing our first ever film is that filming in Baltimore is a challenge. The ambient noises that you all hear, whether it's the sirens or the cars or the wind, are things that as non-professionals we definitely struggled with. But in the end, it was a lot of fun, and I'm really proud of what the kids were able to accomplish. We are, of course, doing Shakespeare this fall, Much Ado About Nothing, which is thankfully free. We don't have to pay for rights to that. However, we, of course, would love to raise some money for the Mount St. Joseph Drama Club and program. So if you feel so inclined to give a few dollars, perhaps the cost of a normal ticket, $10, to help our program keep pushing forward as we look towards spring and in the future productions, please do so. We would encourage everyone to try to give a few dollars if possible. Below me, there should be a link to where you can do that. There should also be donate buttons on the YouTube page, as well as the Mount St. Joseph homepage. And so I would encourage you to go to that link, which is msjnet.edu/support theater. But again, you can find the link below, and also the donate buttons here on the YouTube page or on the Mount St. Joseph homepage. So obviously it's not required, but anything you can give is certainly appreciated. So without further ado, I'll just say that we will have a brief 3-minute intermission to take a quick break after Act 3. The whole running time is less than 2.5 hours. But without further ado, here is Much Ado About Nothing, the Corona edition.
I learned in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon hath come this night to Messina.
He's very near by this. Was not very jockeying about him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
By few of any sort, and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever hath brung home full numbers. I see here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor upon a young Florentine named Claudio.
Much deserved of his pardon, equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing, in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion. He hath better himself than you should expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina who will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered his letters, and there appears much joy in him, even so much that joy could not show itself modest without a dash of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better it is to weep with joy than to joy at weeping.
And I pray you, have you seen Signor Montanto as you returned from the wars?
I know none of that thing, lady, in the army of any sort.
Who is he that you ask of, niece?
My cousin named Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, yes. He's returned, and as pleasant as he ever was.
Oh, for he set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the fight, and my uncle's fool subscribed to Cupid, challenged him at the bird bowl. But I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? Or how many hath he killed? for I promise to eat all of his killings.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he will meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service lately in these wars.
Oh, you have musty victual, and he hath hope to eat it. For he is a valiant treasureman, and he hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honorable virtues.
Oh, for he is nothing less than a stuffing man. And for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a spark of wit between them.
Alas, you get nothing by that. For in our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now he is a whole man governed by 1. And if he had enough wit to stay warm, we'll let him bear the difference between him and a horse. For if he had enough wealth to be known left, well, he is not a reasonable creature. But who's his companion now? For every month he has a new sworn brother.
Is it possible?
Oh, yes, oh, so possible. For he wears his faith, but the fashion of his hat is ever changing, as the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not near folks.
And if he were, I would burn my study, for who is his companion now? Is there no young squire who would make the journey with him to the devil?
He is in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, ha! And he will hang upon him like a disease. The taker runs presently mad. For if Lord help the good and noble Claudio, for if he had caught the Benedict, well, it will take him 1,000 pounds ere to be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do good, friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
Not till the hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonato, you are come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost, and you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace, for with trouble being gone, comfort remains. But if you were to depart from me, sorrow would abide and happiness would take its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this be your daughter?
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Why no, Signor Benedict, for then were you still a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly, the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for all Messina, as like him as she is.
Oh, Signor Benedict, why are you still speaking? For nobody marks you.
Ah, my dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
How could disdain die when there is such meek fruit to feed as Signor Benedict? For courtesy must convert to disdain when you are in her presence.
Well then, is courtesy a turncoat?
Oh.
But it is certain, I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a heart, for truly I love none.
Ah, a dear happiness to women. Well, they would be troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank my cold blood for that. I am at your humor. For I would rather hear my dog bark at a crow than hear a man swear he loves me.
Well, God keep your ladyship still in that mind, so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
A scratched face could not make it worse if it was such a face as yours.
Well, you are a rare parrot, teacher.
Oh, a bird of tongue is better than a beast of yours.
Well, I would my horse have the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But, in God's name, I have done.
Always end with the jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonato. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonato hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at the least a month, though he hardly prays some other occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you shall not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince, your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. Not many words, but I thank you.
Please, at your grace, lead on.
Oh, come, Leonato. We shall go together.
The daughter of Signor Leonato. Well, I noted her not, but I looked on her. Is she not a monster? Do you question me for my simple true judgment like an honest man should, or would you have me speak according to my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray you speak in sober judgment.
Well, methinks she's too low for a high praise, and too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her. Were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Dost thou thinkest I am in sport? I would pray you tell me how thou likest her.
Would you buy her, that you inquire after her?
In mine eyes she is the sweetest lady I have ever looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. Now there's her cousin, and were she not possessed with this fury, she would exceed her in beauty as much as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband, have you?
I would scarce trust myself. Although, I swore the contrary if Hera would be my wife.
Has it come to this? Hath the world not a one man but will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 3 again? Well, go to in faith. If thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here, that you followed not to Leonato's?
I would your grace constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Well, you hear, Count Claudio. I've had me a secret as a dumb man, and I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this, on my allegiance, he is in love. And with who? Now that's your grace's part. But mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If it were so, so it was said.
Like the old tale, my lord, it is not so, nor 'twas not so, but indeed, God forbid, it should be so.
If my passion changed not shortly, then I would hope for it otherwise. Amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
Thou say this to seek man, my lord?
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine. And by my 2 faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine. That I love her, I feel
That she is worthy, I know.
that I neither know how she should be loved, nor feel how she should be worthy, with the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And could not maintain himself but in the force of his own will. That a woman conceived me, I think. That she brought me up, I likewise give my most humble thanks. But that I will have a recheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle on an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. For I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any, I will do myself the right to trust none, and the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. And prove that I ever lose more blood with love than I will gain again with drinking. Pluck out mine eyes with the ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat, and have men shoot at me, and he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try. In time, the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict wear it, pluck out the horns and place them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted in such letters as they write, here is the good horse to hire, and let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict the married man.
If this were to happen, thou wouldst have gone horn mad. Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
Yeah, I look for an earthquake too then.
Oh, well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, Benedict, repair thyself to Leonato's. Commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made great preparation.
I have matter enough in me for such an embassage, and so I commit you.
Tuition of God, from my house I have it. The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, but those guards are but based on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My lord, my liege, I pray you do me good.
My love is thine to teach, and teach but how. Thou wilt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Doth Leonato have any son, my lord?
He hath no child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eyes that liked, but had a rougher task at hand than to drive to the likes of love. But now I am returned, and that war thought has left its place in absence. In its room comes thronging delicate desires and soft desires of love, telling me how fair Hero is, saying, I liked her ere I went to war.
Thou wilt be like a lover presently, and tire the Hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and her father, and thou shalt have her. Was't not to this end that thou beganst to twist so fine a tale, Claudio?
How doth minister love so well to recognize it by its complexion? I know my liking is too soon, but I would solve it with a sooner treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is a necessity. What will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudio. In her bosom I'll unclasp my heart, and take her hearing prisoner with the force and strong encounter of mine amorous tale. Thereafter to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. Come, let us put it in practice presently.
How now, brother? Where is my cousin, your son? Hath he provided us this music?
He's very busy about it, but brother, I can tell you news you yet dreamt not of.
Is it any good?
As the event stamps them, but they have good cover. They show well outward. The prince and Claudio walking in a thick bleached alley in mine orchard were very much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it in this night in a dance. And if he found her accorded, meant to take you by the present time, break the top, and instantly break you up.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I can bring him to you and question him yourself.
No, we will hold it as a dream till it appear. But I will acquaint my daughter with all, so that she may be better prepared for an answer for adventures to do. Go you and tell her all. Ah, good cousins, you know what you must do. Oh, friend, I cry you joy. Come with me, and I will make use of your skill. Good cousin, have a care this busy time.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There's no measure in the occasion that breeds, therefore the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I've heard it, what blessings bring it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest thou art, goest about to apply a mortal medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause and laugh at no man's jest, eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure, sleep when I am drowsy and tend to no man's business, and laugh when I am merry and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make full show of this. Till you may do it now without controlment, you have laid out sin against your brother, and he has taken you newly into his grace, where it is impossible that you should frame the season for your own harvest.
I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in disgrace, and I better face my blood than to steal love from any. In this, though, I cannot be a flattering honest man, but not be denied that I am a plain dealing villain. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. But until then, I have decreed not to sink from my cage. Therefore, seek not to alter me, and let me be that I am.
Can you make no use of this discontent?
I make all use of it, for I use it all. Who comes here? What news brought you?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will Sir Friend Melville Mitchell? Who's he for a man that betroths himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right-hand man.
Who? Was Claudio?
Even he.
Proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfume, as I was smoking a musty room, comes to me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I went me behind the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Claudio.
Come. Let us thither. This may prove food to my displeasure, for Hero hath the glory of my overthrow. You are both sure and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the great banquet. Shall we go prove what's to be done?
We will wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
For he's a tartly gentleman, for I have seen him not, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He is of a very melancholy disposition.
For he would be an excellent man if it was between him and Signor Benedict. For the first, like an image, says nothing, and then the second, like my maid's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then have Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and have Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
Oh, for uncle, if a good foot and you have a good leg, for a man like that could win any woman, if he could get on her goodwill, and if he had money enough in her purse.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed, and let God lessen it so. For it is said, God sent the cursed cow short horns, and then he sent the too cursed none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns?
Just as he has sent me no husband, a blessing for which I am on my knees every morning and evening, for I could not stand a husband with a beard. I would rather lie in the woolen.
You may light upon a husband that hath no beard.
And what would I do with him? Dress him up in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman? For none. He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. And he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, well, I am not for him. So then, I will take up my sixpence in earnest, and go unto Beerward, and take his apes unto hell.
Well then, go you into hell?
No, but to the gate, where I will meet the devil, like an old cuck-off, with his horns on his head, and he will say, Get thee unto heaven, Beatrice, get thee unto heaven, for there is no room for your maids here. And then I will take up my apes, and go and meet St. Peter, and there he will show me where the most holy of bachelors sits, and I shall live there the rest of the days of my lives, as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father.
Oh, for it is my cousin's duty to say, Father, as it pleases me, as it pleases you, and then, or if he be a handsome gentleman, and if not, let it be said, Father, as it pleases me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Oh, no, not until God make men of some other metal than earth. For wouldn't a woman be grieved for her life to be overcome into nothing more than the piercing of a valley of dust, and her life to become a clod of wayward marl? For no, Adam's son, they are my brethren, and I find it a sin to match with my kindred.
Daughter, you know what I told of you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
Oh yes, for a harrow. It shall be like the wooing and the wedding, if you shall be wooed. And the prince is important enough for wooing, wedding, and repenting. It is like a Scottish jig. For the first, hot and hasty, like the Scottish jig, with its kinked pace, and oh so fantastical. And then the wedding will be modernly manners, with all of its state and ancestry. And then the final, like the Scottish jig, with its bad leg and kinked pace, will get faster and faster until it settles into the grave.
Niece, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
Oh, uncle, I have a good eye, for I can see a church in the daylight.
The revelers are entering, brother. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and move sweetly and say nothing.
I'm used to the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so, when I please.
And when please you to say so.
When I like your favor. For God to send the loose should be like a case.
My advisor is Philemon Ruth. Within the house is Joseph.
Why then, your visor should be thatched.
I'll speak low if you speak low.
Well, I would you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I love you the better. The hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words. The clerk has answered.
I know you well enough. You're Senor Antonio.
By a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit him.
You can never do him so well, unless you are the very man. Here's his dry hands up and down. You're he.
By a word, I am not.
Come, do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself?
Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you must pardon me.
And will you not tell me who you are?
No, not now.
Oh, for I am sure it is Senor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
Oh, I am sure you know him well enough.
Not I, believe me.
Has he never made you laugh?
No, I play you. What is he?
Oh, for he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. For only libertines delight in him, and the condemnation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases and angers men, and then they laugh at him and beat him. For I am sure he is in the fleet, for I would he had bored me.
Well, when I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Oh, do. And he'll break a comparison or two on me, but, peradventure, it will not be marked or laughed at, and then he will be stricken into melancholy, but there is a partridge wing saved. For the fool, he will eat no supper that night. I think we must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Oh, no. If they lead to any will, I will leave them at the next turning.
Zamra's son Hero half talked to her father about the marriage, and the ladies followed her, and now but one visor remains.
And that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are not you Senor Benedict?
I am he. You know me well.
Senor, you are very close to my brother in his amorous deeds. I pray you dissuade him from Hero, for she is not worthy of his birth.
How you know he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
So did I too. And he swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus I answer in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, he woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all things, save the affairs and offices of love. Therefore, every heart in love speaks in its own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself. And trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith turned to blood. This is an hourly proof. It is an action I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, Hero.
Count Claudio! Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Oh, to the next willow tree. About your own business, Count.
What fashion will you wear the garland of? Around your neck like a usurer's chain, or under your arm like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Well, that's spoken like an honest drovier. So they sell bullocks. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, but you'll beat the post.
If you will not, I will.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now he will creep into sedges. But that my Lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince is fool. Ha! It may be I go under that title because I am married, but I'm apt to do myself wrong. Nay, I am not so reputed. It is the base though bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world in her and so puts me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, senor, where's the Count? Have you seen him?
Troth, my lord, I've played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady, and I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland of being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod, worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
Why, the flat transgression of the schoolboy, who, overjoyed at finding a bird's nest, shows it to his companion. He steals it.
Wouldst thou make trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss the garland had been made, and the rod too. For the garland he may have worn himself, but the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
Oh, I will but teach them to sing and then restore them to the owner.
Well, if their singing answer your saying, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel to you. The gentleman that danced with her tonight
No,
hath told her...
no, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak but with one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest, with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark, with the whole army shooting at me. She speaks poignards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. She would have made Hercules turn spit, yea, and cleft his club to make the fire too. Come, talk not of her. You will find her the infernal 8 in good apparel. I would some scholar would conjure her, for while she is here, a man may live in quiet in hell, as in a sanctuary, where people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Oh, but look, here she comes.
Oh, will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the Antipodes you can devise to send me on. Fetch you a toothpicker from the furthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot. Fetch you a hair off the great chance beard. Do you any embassage to the pygmies rather than hold 3 words conference with this Harpy? You have no employment for me.
Oh, none but to desire your good company.
Oh God, sir, this is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedict.
For yes, he lent it to me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, for he lent it to me once before, and won it of me with false dice. So yes, your lord, you can say, I lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not, unless he should do me. For lest I should prove the mother of fools. For I brought Count Claudio, who you asked me to seek.
How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then? Sick?
Neither, my lord.
Oh, for the Count. He is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil Count. Civil as an orange, and of that jealous complexion.
Faith, lady, I think you're blazoned to be true. Though, I'll be sworn, if he be of that, then his conceit is false. Did Hear, Claudio, I have wooed fair Hero in thy name, and she is won. And with her father I have broken, and his goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace to say amen to it.
Oh, for speak, Count, 'tis your cue.
Lady, silence is the heraldess of joy. If I were not but happier, I would tell you how much As you are mine, I am yours. I give myself to you. And I dote on the exchange.
Oh, for Harrow, speak now, and if you cannot, stop his words with a kiss, so that he can speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Oh yes, my lord, and the poor fool, at last on the windy side of care. Oh, for good Lord for alliance.
And so she doth.
Oh yes, and good Lord for alliance, for, oh, there goes another off into the world, and I am left sunburnt. So then I shall go, cry hi-ho for a husband in the corner.
Oh, Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
Oh, I would rather have one of your father's getting, for hath the Lord never a brother like you? For your father hath excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Would you have me, lady?
Oh, no, my lord, unless I could have another for the working days, for your grace is too costly to wear every day. Oh, but beseech me, pardon me, for I was born to speak of all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best befits you, for out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
Oh, I not know, for my mother cried, and then a star danced, and under it I was born. Oh, for dear cousin, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
Ah, I cry for your mercy, my uncle, and pardon me, your lord.
Why, my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There is little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but for when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for my daughter hath told me that she often dreamt of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
If they were married but a week, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudia, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Love goes on crutches, until time goes on.
Not till Monday, my dear son, for it is hence a just seven-night, and time long enough for any questions of my mind to be answered.
Come, you shake your head at so long a breathing. Though, I warrant thee, Claudio, time will not pass by dully, for in the interim, I will undertake one of Hercules' labors. That is, to bring Signor Benedict and the Lady Beatrice into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I doubt not but to fashion it if only you three will administer such assistance as I shall give thee direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
Oh, and you, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedict is not the most unhopefulest husband I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of noble strain, of proved valor, and of confirmed honesty. I will teach thee to humor your cousin so that she doth fall in love with Benedict. And I, with your two helps, shall so practice on Benedict that despite his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no archer, for all his glory shall be ours, for we are the only love gods. Come in with me now, and I shall tell you my drift.
It is so. Count Claudio should marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be better medicine with me, for I am filled with displeasure with them. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I believe I told your lordship a year since how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman of Hero.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out at her lady's chamber window.
How can that be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother. Spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Count Claudio, whose estimation do you mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
Only to despite them, I will endeavor anything.
Go now, find me a meet hour to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal both to the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor who has made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, then you have discovered this. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Give them instances that shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me call Margaret Hero. Hear Margaret term me Baraccio. And do this the night before the intended marriage. For in the meantime I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there will appear such seeming truth of Hero's disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparation overthrown.
Go as to what you can do, and not use your fee could be 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in your accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I'll presently go learn the day of their marriage.
Girl,
Senor?
in my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I'm here already, sir.
I know that, but I would have thee hence and here again. I do much wonder how one man, after seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he has laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. Such a man is Claudio. I have known when there was no music in him but the drum and the fife, and now he'd rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would walk 10 miles afoot to see a good armor, and now he will lie 10 nights awake carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like a good man and a soldier, and now has turned to orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet with so many strange dishes. May I be so converted to see with these eyes? Cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, for love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till he hath made an oyster of me, he will never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another is wise, yet I am well. Another is virtuous, yet I am well. But till all graces be in one such woman, one woman will not come in my graces. Rich shall she be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. And virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. And fair, or I'll never look on her. Noble, or not die for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be what color please God. Ah, the prince and monsieur love. I will hide me in the dugout.
Come, shall we hear some music?
Indeed, my lord. How still the evening is, as hushed on her purpose to grace harmony.
See you where Benedict hath hid himself.
Oh, I, my lord. The foul sense will fit this kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come, Balthazar, we will hear that song again.
Oh, good, my lord. Text not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is the witness still of excellency to put so strange a face on his own perfection. I pray thee, sing, and let me woo no more.
Because you talk of wooing, I will sing, since many a wooer doth commence his suit to her, he thinks not worthy. Yet he woos, yet will he swear he loves.
Now, pray thee, come. Or if thou wilt hold longer argument, do it in notes.
Note this before my notes. There's not a note of mine that's worth the noting.
These are very crotchets that he speaks. Note, notes, forsooth, and still nothing.
Now divine air! Now is his soul ravished. Is it not strange that sheep guts should hail souls out of men's bodies? Well, a horn for my money when all's done.
Sigh no more, lady, sigh no more. Land water receivers and footmen see. And we're not sure to one thing, 'cause they never sign our soul. Then let them go and be you blind and born and you can very wrong. These signs of wrong
By my troth. A good song.
And a no singer, my lord.
No. Faith, thou singest well enough for a shift.
He that would have been a dog that would have howled thus, they would have hanged him. But I hope to God that his voice bode no mischief. Let his leaf have heard the night raven, and Herbert Plague would have come after it.
Yea, Mary, dost thou hear, Balthazar? I pray thee, find us some excellent music, for we would have it tomorrow night at the Lady Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Now, come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedict.
Why, Sargon, thou sits. I did never think the lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I either, my lord. But most wonderful that she should so on Signor Benedict, who she had seen in all outward behaviors to ever abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell you what to think, but that she should love him with an enraged affection. It is beyond the infinite of thought.
Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Oh, Faith, enough.
Oh God, counterfeit. There is never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why, what effects of passion shows she?
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? How pray you? You amaze me. I would I had thought her spirit were invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have as well, my lord, especially against Benedict.
I should think this is a gull, but that the white-bearded fellow speaks it, and knavery cannot sure hide itself in such reverence.
He's taking the infection. Pull it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
She did indeed. For your daughter says, "Shall I," says she, "who have so oft encountered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?"
This says she when she's beginning to write, for she'll be up at least 20 times a night, and there will she sit in her smock till she have writ a sheet of paper. 'Tis very true.
Now you mention a sheet of paper. I remember a silly gesture daughter told us of.
Oh, that when she had finished writing and was reading it over, she found Beatrice and Benedict between the sheets.
That!
Oh, that when she had writ to him, she would tear the letter into 1,000 halfpence, rail at herself that she would be so immodest to flout someone who she had writ to. "I love him," says she, "by my own troth, since I could not writ to him and he still flouts him, for I love him, should I?"
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. "Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience!"
This says she now, and my daughter is almost afeard that the ecstasy of this hath almost caused her to do an immense outrage to herself. 'Tis very true.
If it were good, Benedict knew of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would only make but a sport of it, and torment the lady worse.
And he should. It were an alms to hang him. She is an excellent, sweet lady. And, out of all suspicion, she's virtuous.
She is exceeding wise.
Oh, in everything but in loving Benedict.
My lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body, we have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I do feel sorry for her, as I have just caused, being both her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed such dotage on me, for I would have doffed all other respect and made her half myself. I pray you, find Benedick, and hear what he will say.
Word good, think you?
Hero says she will die, for she says she will die ere she make her feelings known. And she will die if he love her not. And she will die if he woo her. Rather, she would bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. For if she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it. For the man, as you all know, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed a good outward happiness.
And I take him to be valiant.
Oh, as Hector, I assure you. And in the handling of quarrels, one may say he is wise, for he either avoids them with an utmost discretion, or he undertakes them with a most Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, and must necessarily keep peace, for if he break that peace, he shall enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do. For the man doth fear God, howsoever it may not seem in him by some grand jests he makes. Well, sir, I am sorry for your niece.
Hey, come!
Bless you.
Oh.
Shall we find Benedick and tell him of her love?
Never, never tell him, my lord. Let Beatrice wear it out if it comes.
Nay, 'tis impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we shall hear further of it from your daughter. Let it cool the while. I love Benedick well, and I could only hope that he could so modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is of so fine a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If you do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectations.
But the same net is spread for her. This must your daughter and her gentlewomen carry. Sport will be when one holds an opinion of another's dotage, and no such matter. That is the scene that I will see, and it will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him in to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference is sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. And they seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me! Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say, too, she would rather die than give any sign of affection. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that can hear their detractions and put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis the truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous, 'tis so. And wise, but for loving me. By my troth, there will be no addition to her wit, nor no great argument of her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may by chance have some odd remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage. But doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No! The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I should live till I were married. Ah, here comes Beatrice now. By this day she's a fair lady. I do believe I spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I was bid to come bring you to supper.
Fair Beatrice, I thank you for your pains.
Oh, there were no pains in those praise as it took the pains that it took for you to make that thanks.
Huh, you take pleasure then in the message.
Oh, yes, just so much pleasure as it would take you to take your sword and choke upon it with a doll withal. Oh, fare you well, senor, you have no stomach.
Against my will, I'm sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains to those thanks than you took pains to thank me. Well, that is as much as to say, any pains I take for you is as easy as thanks. Well, if I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am an outcast. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the Prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her, I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheardst us, and bid her steal into the pleached bower, where honeysuckles, ripened by the sun, forbid the sun to enter, like favorites made proud by princes that advance their pride against that power that bred it. There will she hide her to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone. I'll make her come, I warrant you, presently. Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin. For look where Beatrice, like a lapwing, runs close by the ground to your conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish. Quick with her golden oars the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous fish. So we angle for Beatrice, who even now is couched in the wood by coverture. Not my part of the dialogue.
Then go we near her, that at your lose nothing of the false sweet faith that we lay for her. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful. I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
And are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new troll de Ford.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection and never to let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full of fortune as that as Beatrice shall ever couch upon?
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matter else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore, certainly, it were not good she knew his love, unless she made sport at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw man, how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured, but she would spell him backward. If fair-faced, she would swear the gentleman to be her sister. If black, why, nature, drawing of an antique, made a foul blot. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, why, a vein blown with all winds. If silent, why, a block glued with none. So turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, such carping is not commendable.
No, not to be so odd and from all fashions as Beatrice is, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I should speak, she would mock me into air. Oh, she would laugh me out of myself, press me to death with wit.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No. Rather, I will go to Benedick and counsel him to fight against his passion. And truly, I'll devise some honest slanders to stain my cousin with. One doth not know how much an ill word may poison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Senor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy. Always accepted, my dear Claudio.
I pray you, madam, be not angry with me. Speaking my fancy, Senor Benedick, for shape, for bearing, argument valor, goes foremost in report through Italy.
Indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it, ere he added. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day! Tomorrow! Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel, which is the best of her to speak tomorrow.
She is mine, I warrant you. We have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, then let me go to my house. So cubicles of arrows, so much traps. What fires in my ears! Can this be true? Oh, comfort, farewell, faded pride, adieu, for there is no such glory lives on the back of such, and Benedict, O love on, and I will requite thee, and tame my wild heart for thy loving hand. Oh, for if thou dost love, then my kindness will incite thee, and take up our love and bind it in the most holy of bands. Oh, gosh, for thou others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
Do but stay till your marriage be consummate. Then go I toward Aragon.
I will bring thee thither, if thou vouchsafe.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat, and then forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot he is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. His heart is a bell, and his tongue is the clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallant, I'm not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder.
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant! There is not a true drop of blood in him so as to be touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Try it!
Hang it!
You must hang it first, and then draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Where is but a humor or a worm?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Ha! Yet say I, he is in love.
There doesn't appear to be any fancy about him, unless it be a fancy that he hath the strange disguise, so as to be a Dutchman today, and a Frenchman tomorrow, or in the shape of two countries at once, as a German from the waist down, all slops, and a Spaniard from the hips up, no doublet. Unless he hath a fancy for this foolery, as it appears he may, then he is no fool for the fancy, as you would have it appear he is.
If he be not in love with a woman, then one cannot trust the old signs. I mean, as he brushes his hat o' the mornings, what should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him, and the old ornaments on his cheeks have been stuffed tennis balls.
He looks almost younger, by the loss of a beard.
Nay, he rubs himself with the civet. Can you not smell him out by that?
That is to say, the sweet youth's in love.
Oh, and the greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when would he want to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself. For the which, I hear what they say of him.
Which is to say, as his demeanor goes, it is crept into a lute, and played and governed with stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude, he is in love!
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That would I know, too. I warrant one who knows him not.
And, despite his ill condition, dies for him.
Oh, she shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet this is no charm for the toothache. Come, old signor, walk aside me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words I would speak to you, and that these hobby horses must not hear.
My lord and brother, God save you!
Good den, brother.
If your leisure serve, may I speak with you?
In private?
If it please you, yet Claudio may join, for what I speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not, but let that appear hereafter. And now I will actively manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and his heart hath hope and effect on your ensuing marriage. But sue ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what is the matter?
I came hither to tell you that your lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero. Your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
Think of you a title and I can think worse of. And if you do not believe me, come with me tonight to your lady's chamber window. You shall see it approach even the night before your wedding day. If you love her then, marry her. But I pray that you change your mind.
Could this be true? I will not think it.
If you do not trust me now, trust that what you think. For tonight, you will hear enough and you will see enough. And after that, you can proceed accordingly.
If I hear anything tonight, why should I not marry her? Tomorrow in the congregation, there I will wed her, and there I will shame her.
And, as I wooed for thee to obtain her, so too will I join thee to disgrace her.
I will aspire to her no further till what we see tonight.
Day untowardly turned.
Mischief strangely thwarting.
O plague, right well prevented, for we shall see what happens at the sequel.
Are you good men and true? Yea, or else it were but pity they should suffer salvation, body and soul. Nay, that be a punishment too good for them. Have they any loyalty in them, being chosen for the prince's watch? Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry. Firstly, who think you to be the most senseless? Firstly, who think you to be the most desertless man to be constable of the watch?
Hugh Odecake, sir, or George Seacow, for they can both write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Seacow. God hath blessed thee with a good name. To be favored is a gift of fortune. But to write and read, that comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, why, give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, may that appear when there is no need for such vanity. You are thought to be the most senseless and fit man to be constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men. You shall charge any man stand in the prince's name.
How, if they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of them, but let them go. And presently, call the rest of the watch together, and thank God you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they shall meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the street, for the watch to babble and talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
You would rather sleep than talk and walk along so watch.
Why, you speak like an ancient and most quiet watchman. For I cannot think to how sleeping should offend, though take care that your bills be not stolen. You shall call up at all the alehouses, and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How? They will not.
Why then, let them be till they are sober.
Well, sir.
If you are to meet a thief in the night, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And when it comes to such kind of men, the less you meddle with them, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief, should we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think those that touch pitch be defiled. The most peaceful way, if you do come across a thief, is to let him show himself and steal out of your company.
You have always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much less a man with any honesty.
If you hear a child cry in the night, you must call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How? If the nurses be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then, depart in peace, and and let the baby wake the nurse. For the ewe that will not hear the lamb when she bays will not hear the calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of your charge. You are to present the prince's own person. If you meet him in the night, you may say him.
Nay, Bar Lady, I think I cannot.
Nay, 5 shillings to 1 on it. Any man that knows the statutes, he may say him. Granted, not without the prince be willing, for the watch should offend no man, and to stay a man against his will is an offense.
Nay, Bar Lady, I think it to be so.
Well, neighbors, good night. If any matter of weight come up, call up me. Keep your fellows' cancels and your own, and good night. Come.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us go sit upon the church bench until 2, and then all to bed.
One more thing. I pray you hang about Signor Leonato's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there's a great coil to make. Adieu. Be vigilant, I beseech you.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
Mass, and my elbow itched. I thought they would have scabbed follow.
I will owe thee an answer to that. Now, forward with thy tale.
Come thee closer, under this penthouse. For it drizzles rain, and I will like a true drunkard utter all to thee.
So she should just stand close.
Know that I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may ask what price they will.
I wonder at it.
That showest thou art unconfirmed. Knowest thou that the fashion of a doublet, or a hat, or cloak, is nothing to a man?
Yes, it is the apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Hush, I may as well say the fool's the fool. Now, knowest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know that deformed. He's been a vile thief for 7 years, and goes up and down like a gentleman. I remember his name.
Didst thou not hear someone?
No, 'twas Vane in the house.
Knowest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is, stirring up giddily all the hot bloods between 14 and 35, sometime fashioning them like the Pharaoh's guards in the Greek painting, sometime like the God Bells priests in the old church window, and sometimes still like the shaven Hercules in the besmirched worm-eaten tapestry where his todpiece seem as massy as his club.
All this I see, and I see that fashion wears out more apparel than men do. What? Art not thou thyself scheming with thy fashion, that thou hast shut out thy tale in telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither. But knowest thou, tonight, I have wooed Margaret, the lady Hero's gentlewoman, by the name of Hero. She leads me out at her lady's chamber window, and bids me 1,000 times good night. I tell this tale mildly. Thou shouldst first know how the Prince Claudio and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
And thought thy Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the Prince and Claudio. But my master knew she was Margaret, partly by his oaths which first possessed them, partly by the dark night which did deceive them, but chiefly by my own cunning, which did confirm any slander. Away went Claudio enraged. He swore he would meet her as appointed the next morning at the temple, and there before the whole congregation shame her with what he saw o'ernight, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you, in the prince's name, stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have discovered the most dangerous piece of lechery in the Commonwealth.
And deformed is one of him. I know him, or wears a lock.
Masters! Masters!
You'll be made for in deformed forth, I warrant you.
Masters! Never speak. We charge you, let us obey you to go with us.
We are like to prove a goodly commodity, taken up of these men's bills.
The commodity in question will be come now.
Hello again. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the first part of our film of Much Ado About Nothing. As I said at the top, we're taking a brief 3-minute intermission. So if you need to take a quick break, do it quickly. The second part is shorter, and so we want to get right back to it. I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank a few people. Obviously, the administration once again, and the cast and crew, and of course the parents who brought their kids to rehearsal or had to listen to them on Zoom. We certainly want to thank all of those folks. A special thanks to Miss Katie Sheldon, who is our assistant director for this production. She was great, and certainly want to thank her. I want to thank Miss Stacy Stender, who is our crew director, and really our main editor for this film. She worked a lot of hours going through tons and tons of footage that we had in order to edit it all together and all of that. And certainly this could not have been done without her. So I wanted to thank both of those two individuals at this time. I also want to say that if you stay tuned after the show, we will have a quote curtain call, so you will see bows and you'll be able to read bios for the cast and the crew. So stick around if you want to see those bows and bios as well. And finally, I would just remind you that if you would like to donate to Mount St. Joseph Drama and our theater program, again, the link should be beneath my picture, hopefully. There should be donate buttons on the YouTube page as well as the Mount St. Joe homepage. And any amount of donation would certainly be appreciated. And I'm going to stop there. There's just a little bit of time before the second half begins. And once again, thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of the show.
Good Ursula, waken my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well, by my troth, I think your other boss were better.
No, anything I make?
Or this. By my troth, it's not so good. And I warrant your cousin will say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I will learn none but this.
If the hair were thought browner, and the gowns in most excellent fashion in faith, I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
By my troth, but a nightgown in respect of yours, cloths of gold and cuts, laced with silver, set with pearls, down sleeves, side sleeves, skirts, a round underborn with a bluish tinsel, but for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on it.
God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee, art not ashamed?
Of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is marriage not honorable in a beggar? Is your lord not honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. But bad thinking does not rest true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, for it is the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my lady Beatrice, else here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Oh, good morrow, sweet Harrow. Why, how now do you speak in this sick tone?
I'm out of all other tunes, methinks.
Claps into light of love, which goes without burden. Do you sing it, and I'll dance it.
Oh, ye with your light of love, tap on with your heels. For if your husband had stables enough,
You would lack no barns. Oh, illegitimate construction. I scorn that with my heels. Ugh, never mind you. Okay.
My dear Harrow, before it is almost 5 o'clock, it is about time we got ready. But, oh, alas, my troth, I am ill. Hi-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband.
For all that begins that letter H.
Well, and you are not turned Turk. There's no more sailing by the star.
What does this fool mean?
Nothing I, but God send everyone their heart's desire.
Oh, look at these gloves and counts I need. They're an excellent perfume. Oh, I am stuffed. I cannot smell them, dear cousin.
A maid and stuffed, there's goodly catching of cold.
Oh my God. Oh, Lord help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it, doth not my wit become me rarely?
Ah, your wit is not seen enough. You should wear it on your cap. Oh, but dear cousin, help me. I am ill.
Get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus. It is the only thing for a qualm.
And thou prickest her with the thistle. Benedictus? Why Benedictus? Have you some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I think you would have me say that I think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list, nor indeed I cannot think that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet, Benedict is such another, and now he has become a man. He swore he would never marry, and now, despite his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. How you may be converted, I know not, but methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
Oh, and what pace does thy tongue keep?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Senor Benedict, Don John, and all the gowns of the town come to beg you to church.
Help to dress me, good cuz, could make it, Ursula.
Senor! What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time for me.
Marry, this it is, sir. In truth, it is.
What is it, good friend?
Goodman Verges, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man and his wits are, God help, not as blunt as I'd hoped they'd be, though honest as the skin between his breast.
Yea, sir, I thank God I am as honest as any man living that is an old man, and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palabrous, neighbor.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It may please your worship to say so, but we are merely the poor duke's officers, though if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all upon your worship.
All thy tediousness on me, huh?
Yes, and 'twere £1,000 more than 'tis. I have heard as good an exclamation upon your name as of any in the city. Though I may be a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, hath taken a couple of as arid knaves as any in the sea.
To good old man, sir, he will be talking, as they say, when the age is in, the wit is out. God help us. It is a world to see. Well said, neighbor Verges, in truth. But God is a good man. Two men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest man in faith, sir, he is, by my troth, as ever as broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. Not all men are alike. Alas, neighbor.
Indeed, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One more thing. My watch have indeed taken two auspicious persons. We would have them examined before your worship this morning.
Take their examination and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear to you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare thee well.
My lord, they say for you to bring your daughter to her husband.
I will wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, neighbor, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring the inkhorn and pen to the jail. We are now to examination these men.
We must do it wisely.
I warrant you, we will spare no wit. Here's that shall bring some of them to a non-come. Only get the learned writer to set down our examination and meet me at the jail.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief, only to the plain form of marriage, and you may recount the particular duties afterwards.
You consider, my lord, to marry this lady?
No. To be married to her, Friar, you come to marry her.
Lady, you consider to be married to this count? I do. If either of you knows any more inward impediments why you should not be conjoined today, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord. Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer. None.
What men dare do, what men may do, what men do knowing what they do. How now? Interjections. Friar, Father, will you with unconstrained soul give to me this maiden your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back for this precious and most faithful gift?
Nothing, unless you should render her again.
Oh, sweet prince, you know me noble thing for this. Here, Leonardo! Take her back! Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She's but the pride and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes. On outward truth, behold. Look, all of you. Does she not look like a maiden? But no, she is not. Her blush is guilt, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married to an unapproved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity.
I know what you would say, Leonardo. That if I have known her and she has taken me, then she has accepted me as a husband. No! That does not accentuate beforehand sin. I have never tempted her with word too large, but instead, as a brother to his sister, has welcomed her with bashful sincerity and commonly love.
And seemed I ever otherwise to you?
Out on me! I will write against it. I sought you as Diane in her orb, but you are Venus. Venus in her intemperance, or like these savage, pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend to a common snail.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True, oh God!
Leonardo, is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this hero's face our eyes our own?
All this is so, my lord, but what of this?
To put forth my one question, will you, with your fatherly power in her, beg her answer truly?
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh God, defend me! How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
That you answer to your name.
Is it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Oh, Hero but a name. Let me ask you this. Where were you betwixt 12 and 1 yesternight? Who were you talking to?
I talk with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then, you are no maiden. Leonardo, I am sorry you must hear. On my honor, myself, my brother, and this grieved count did see her, hear her, at that hour last night, speaking to a ruffian at her chamber window, who most like a liberal villain, hath confessed to the most vile encounters they've had over 1,000 times in secret.
Hero, what a hero hast thou been. I would have locked up all the gates of love for you, but now no. I will lock away my heart, and never will it be more gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Why now, sweet Harrow? Wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things come thus to light. Smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Oh, dear uncle. Oh, please, help. Help. Dear Harrow, dear Harrow. Senior Benedict, the friar.
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why, doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she not here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would on the rearward of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Chid I for the frugal nature's frame. Oh, one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why had I not, with beggar's hand, took up a charitable issue in my gates, which smirched thus and mired with infamy? I could have said, no part of this was mine. Thy shame is derived from unknown loins, and valuing of her, oh, she has fallen into a pit of ink, that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little to give way to foul tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I do not know what to say.
Oh, why now, sweet Harrow? For by my soul, my cousin has been belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
Oh, no, truly not. But every night this 12-month, I have been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Oh, thou stronger maid which was before barred with ribs of iron. Did the prince lie and Claudio lie, that she should so, that who loved her so, that speaking on her foulness so washed it with tears? Hence from her, let her die.
Hear me a little, for I can only be silent so long given unto way this fortune. By noting of the lady I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions. To start into her face 1,000 innocent shames beat away those blushes and angel whiteness. And in her eyes there hath appeared a fire, to burn the error these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool! Trust not my reading, nor my observation, which experimental seal doth warrant. Trust not my age, my reverence, my calling, nor divinity, if this lady lie here, not guiltless under some biting error.
Oh, friar. Oh, friar. Thou not add to thou damnation. Thou not add to a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Then why speak'st thou with that which should already be covered up in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is that he you are accused of?
They know that you accuse me. I know none. If I know more than any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. O my father, prove you that any man with me conversed at hours of meat, or that I yesternight maintained the change of words with any creature. Refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There are some strange misprisons with the princes.
The two of them have the very bent of honor. But if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lies in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainy.
I know not. But if they should speak but true of her, these hands shall tear her. If they so wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall hear of it. Time hath not so dried up this blood of mine, nor age so ate up my invention, nor fortune made such havoc of my means, nor my bad age so reft me of friends. But they shall find, in strength and limb and policy of mind, ability of means, and choice of friends, to quit me of them thoroughly.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. The princess here left your daughter for dead. Let her while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Maintain a mourning ostentation, and hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that pertain to a burial.
What should this mean? What will this do?
Mary, this well carried shall change slander to remorse. That is some good. But not for that dream I own this strange course, but through this travail look for greater burn. She dying, as it must have been maintained, upon the instant she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have we prize not to its value while it's ours, but being lacked and lost, then we rack the value. Then we see the virtue that we failed to see when it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he hears that she died upon his words, every action of her life shall appear a more precious habit into his eyes and precepts of the soul. And then shall he mourn, and shall have love ever graced his liver, and wish he had accused her not. No, though he thought his accusations to be true, let this be so. But if all aims with this be love or false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infancy. And if it not sorts well, you can conceal her in some reclusive religious life, as best befits her wounded reputation, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you, and though you know my inwardness and love is very much unto the Prince and Claudio, yet by mine honor, I shall deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Pain that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented, presently away, for two strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady, die to live this wedding day, perhaps but prolonged, have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
And I will weep a while longer.
I do not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wrong.
And might so deserve the man that would right her.
Is there any way to show such friendship?
Such a way that no such man.
May a man do it?
Oh, it is a man's office, but not yours.
There is nothing in the world I love so much as you. Is not that strange?
Strange is what I know not, and yet I can say I love nothing so much as you. But still, believe me, I lie not, and I confess not. Oh, I am so sorry for my cousin.
By my sword, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Oh, do not swear by it and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Do you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest, I love thee.
God, oh God, forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice.
I was just about to protest that I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
There's so much of my love that there is none left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Ha! Not for the wide world.
You kill me, deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
No, I will go.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Oh, I will go. You do not love me. For farewell.
We'll be friends first.
Would you not? Is it easier for you to be friends with me who you love than to kill mine enemy?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not at the height of a villain that hath scorned and slandered and undone and dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! Oh, he that bare her in arms, and then when they come to take hands with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Oh, that I were a man, I would eat his heart out in the marketplace.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Oh, talked with a man out a window, a proper saying. Oh, my dear Hera, she is undone, she is wronged, she is slandered.
Beatrice!
Oh, what can I do? Oh, what can I do? Oh, gosh. Prince and counties, a good prince, or an honorable count. Count Comafet, he's a valiant man. Oh, for I were a man for his sake, or that I had a man who would be one for mine. Oh, but manhood is melted down into courtesy.
Tarry, good Beatrice.
And valor into compliment, and men are turned at a tongue, and trim ones too. Oh, Claudio is valiant as Hercules now. He that lied swears by it. Oh, for since I cannot be a man in wishing, I shall just die a woman in grieving.
Very good Beatrice, by this hand I love thee.
Will you not take my love and do something besides swearing by it?
Think you in your soul the Count Claudio hath wronged Hero?
Yes, for as I know a thought or a feeling.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. And by this hand Claudio shall render me a dear account. And as you hear of me, so think of me. Now go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so farewell.
Has our whole assembly appeared?
A stool! And a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
That am I and my partner.
Yea, that's certain, for we have exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yea, let them come before me. What's your name, sir?
Baraccio.
Write down. Baraccio. And yours, sir?
I am a gentlewoman, sir. My name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentlewoman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea, sir, we hope.
Hope. Write down that they hope that they serve God, and put God first, for God defend, but God should go before such villains. Masters, it is thought that you are none more than lying knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. What do you have to say for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we are none.
Very witty fellow, I assure you. Now go about. You, sir, come hither. I'll have a word in your ear. Sir, it is thought that you are none more than false knaves.
Sir, I say to you, we are not.
Oh my God, they are all in a tell. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, that be the effest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, I charge you in the prince's name to accuse these men.
This man did say that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down, Prince John, a villain. Why, this is flat perjury as ever was committed.
Master Constable.
Pray you, fellow, peace. I'm not like I look, I promise.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing the Lady Hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did plan to discredit Hero to the whole assembly and not to marry her.
So, villains, thou will be condemned to everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
This is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John was this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show them their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands.
Off, coxcomb!
Oh my God, where's the sexton? Have him write down the prince's officer coxcomb. Bind them. Quick. Thou naughty varlet.
Away! You're an ass! You are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? sexton were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it not be written down, forget not that I am an ass. No, villain, thou art full of piety, and that as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more an officer, and which is more a householder, and which is more as pretty a piece of flesh as any man in the city, and one that knows the law go to, and one that is wealthy enough go to, and one that hath had losses, and 2 gowns, and every pretty piece about him. Take them away. I be written down, ass.
But brother, if you go unless you will kill yourself, and 'tis not wisdom to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee cease thy counsel, which falls upon my ears as profitless as water in a sea. Give not me counsel, nor have a delight or delight mine ears whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy so overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe every length and breadth of mine, and let him answer every strain for strain, and thus for thus, and such a grief for such. If one can stroke his beard, and smile, bid sorrow, and cry hem, for should he groan. Patch grief with proverbs, make misfortune drunk with candle wasters, bring him to me. And the eye of him will know patience.
Well, therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee peace, for I will be flesh and blood, for there is not yet a philosopher that can so endure the toothache patiently, no matter what style they write the gods and make a push at chance and sufferance.
Well, make those who offend you suffer too.
Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me that Hero is belied, and that so shall Claudio know, and so shall the prince know, and all those that have so dishonored him.
Well, and here comes the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good den.
Good day, Hero.
Hear you, my lord.
We have some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste? Well, fare thee well, my lords. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us right now, good old man.
If he could do himself right with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
And who wrongs him?
Harry, thou wrongs me, thou dissembler, thou. Nay, lay not thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Marry beshrew my hand if it were to cause you of such age to fear it. But, marry not, I keep my hand by my sword.
Tush, tush, man. Never fleer and jest at me. For was I not to brag of age, what I have done being young, and what I would do were I not old. I say thee, Claudio, to thy head, thou hast wronged mine innocent child, that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with grey hairs and bruise of many days do challenge thee to a trial of a man. Thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thou slander hath gone through and through my heart. And she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where scandal never slept, save this of hers framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
But you say not right, old man.
My lord, I'll prove it not on his body. Despite his nice fence and active practices, May of youth and bloom of lustihood.
Away with you. Away. I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so daft me? Thou hast killed mine innocent child. If thou shalt kill me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
He shall kill 2 of us, and men indeed. But 'tis no matter. Let him kill one first. Win me and wear me. Answer me. Come, sir boy, come. I will whip you from your pointing fence.
Brother,
Content yourself. God knows I love my niece, and now she's dead. Slandered to death by villains. Tis no matter. Do not meddle, let me deal in this.
Gentlemen both, we will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof. I will not hear you.
Oh, no? Come thee, brother, away. I will be heard.
See here. Here comes the man we went to seek.
Now, good senor, what news?
Good day, my lord.
Welcome, senor. You are almost come to part what was almost a fray.
We would have almost been bitten by men without teeth with our nose on.
Leonato and his brother. What thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we should have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both. We've been up and down to seek thee. I pray you to use thy wit. It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Oh, dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never did any so, although there have been those who have been beside them.
As I am an honest man. He looks pale. Art thou sick, Benedict, or art thou angry?
Oh, what care has killed the cat, man? Sir, I shall meet your wit in the career. You charged against me, but I pray you choose another subject. Well, then give him another staff before they hit his broken cross.
By this light, he changes even more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle. Shall I speak a word in your ear? God bless me from a challenge. You are a villain! I will make it fit how you dare, with what you dare, and when you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You've killed an innocent lady, and your death shall fall heavy upon you. But let me hear. Well, I will meet you, so I will have good cheer.
Oh, what a feat!
In faith, I thank him. He has found me a cat's head, to which, should I find a woodcock too? Sir, your wit embles well, it goes easily.
Oh, I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit just the other night. I said, thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she, a fine little one. No, said I, it is a great wit. Certain, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, it is a good wit. True, she said, it hurts no one. And so, said I, the gentleman is wise. And thus she said, indeed, he is a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. And then she said, that is most certainly true. For something which I swore to him on Monday night, he forswore on Tuesday morning. That's 2 tongues, there's a double tongue. And so, for an hour in total, did she praise thy wit. And so did she conclude with a sigh, thou wast the properest man in all of Italy.
For the which she did not cry for, weep for, or care for.
Oh, yea, that she did. And for the which, if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly. The old man's daughter hath told us all.
And God hath seen him in the garden.
But when shall we put the bull's horns on the sensible Benedict's head?
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. You break jests as braggarts do their blades, which God be thanked hurt them not. Sir, for your many courtesies I thank you, but I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard is fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent young lady. As for my Lord Lackbeard there, he and I shall meet. Until then, peace be with
you. He is earnest.
So he is, and for I take it, the love of Beatrice.
He has challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes in his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
But what is a man as if he's like an ape to a doctor?
But, soft you, pick up my heart and be sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come, you. If justice cannot tame you, she'll never weigh another matter in her balance. Nay, you are a cursing hypocrite once you must be looked to.
How now? 2 of my brother's men bound. Baraccio 1. Officers, what offense have these men committed?
Marry, sir, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they have committed false report. Moreover, they are slanders. 6th and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I ask thee what's their charge. Thirdly, to what you hold against them. 6th and lastly, what crime they have committed, and to conclude, what you count against them.
By my troth, true indeed, and well said.
Gentlemen, what is your offense that holds you so bound? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What is your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no further to my answer. Do you hear me? And let this count kill me. For I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdoms could not discover, these shallow fools have brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man, how Don John, your brother, incensed me to slander the Lady Hero. How you were brought to the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Hero's garments. How you disgraced her when you should marry her. My villainy they have upon record, which I would rather seal with my deaths than repeat over to my shame. She is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and briefly, I desire nothing but the reward of the villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drinking poison, please, Edorat.
Did my brother put you up to this?
Yea, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he is upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, you appeared to me in the rare summons you did when I first met you.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time the sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, forget not to specify, when time and place may serve, that I am an ass.
Here too comes Master Signor Leonato, and the sexton too.
Which of these is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that if I know another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
If you would know your wronger, look on me.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third of them is fled, who had a hand in it. I thank you, my 2 princes. You can write this deed down with your noble and honorable deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethinks you of it.
Leonato, I know not how to speak, or pray for your patience. And whatever invention of recompense you design, I will take. But know that I only sinned, making a mistake.
By my soul, as did I. Though, to satisfy this old man, I would bend under any heavy weight he'd enjoin me to.
I cannot bid thee let my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you, princes, if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow, come you to me, and since you could not be my son, be yet my nephew. My brother hath a daughter who's almost the exact image of those that have died. And if you still wish to do so, come to me and give to her what you could not give to the ones who have died.
O good and noble sir, your kindness doth bring me to tears. I hope to do you well, and dispose of poor Claudio.
I will see you at my house tomorrow, my lord. Tonight, I bid you farewell. This naughty man may be brought to Margaret, who in all things seems to have been part of this, hired to it by your brother.
No, by my soul she was not, nor knew she what she did when she spoke to me. But she has always been just and virtuous in all that I do know by her.
Moreover, sirs, this plaintiff, the offender, did call me ass. I beseech you let it be included in their punishment. Furthermore, the watch hath heard these people speaking to one deformed. They say he bewears a key in one ear, and borrows money in God's name, which he hath held for so long and never paid back, that men grow hard-hearted. I beseech you investigate them on that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Why, you speak like a grateful and most reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
Here's for thy honest pains.
God save the foundation.
Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, for you to correct yourself for the example of others. God protect your worship, and may God restore you to health. If a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it.
My lords, tonight I bid you farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We will look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tonight, I'll mourn with Hero.
Now bring you this criminal with us, so that you may be face to face with Margaret.
Sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
So high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me? Why, shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth, it catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit, but hurt not.
A most manly wit, Margaret, will not hurt a woman. So I pray thee, call Beatrice, I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, we have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, Margaret, you must put in the pikes with the vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
Therefore will come. The God of love that sits above and knows me how pitiful I deserve. I mean in singing, but in loving. Leander the good swimmer, Troilus the first employer of tenders, and a whole book full of these quondam carpet mongers whose names yet run smoothly in the even rhymes of planked verse. But they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Mary, I cannot show it in rhyme. I've tried. I can find no rhyme for lady, but baby, innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, hard rhyme. For school, fool, babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under a rhyming planet, nor I cannot woo in festival terms. Oh, sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Ah, and then is said, for that I shall part, and fare you well. But, actually, I shall not go until I know what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
No, for your foul words are nothing but foul wind, and foul wind is nothing but foul breath. And foul breath is noisome, so therefore I will depart unkissed.
You have frighted the word out of its right sense, so forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge. And either I must shortly hear from him, or I will subscribe him a coward. And now tell me, for which of my bad parts did thou first fall in love with me?
Oh, for all of them together, for which stayed in such
political state of evil that no goodness could mingle in between them. And I ask you, for which of my good parts did you first suffer love?
Ha, suffer love indeed. I do suffer love, for I love thee against my will.
Oh, in spite of your heart. And for that I say, alas, poor heart. If you shall spite it for yours, I will spite it for mine.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
Oh, but there is no assurance in that statement, for there was never one wise man amongst 20 who did not praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the time of good neighbors. If a man do not erect in his own age his tomb ere he dies, he will live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, thinks you?
Question, why, an hour in Clamor and a quarter in Raoul. Therefore it is most expedient for the wise, if Don Worm, his conscience, find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who, I myself can bear witness, am praiseworthy.
Oh, yes, definitely so.
And now tell me, how doth your cousin?
Oh, she's very ill.
But how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. And there I must leave you too, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proved, my lady Hero hath been falsely accused. The Prince and Claudio mildly abused, and Don John is the author of it all, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently? Will you come hear the news, Signor Benedict?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, be buried in thine eyes, and moreover I will go with thee to thy uncle's. Is this the monument of Signor Leonato?
It is, my lord.
Brought to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that lies here. Guarded in her shame. Her death has gained fame that will never die, so that her life that died in shame will live on in death with glorious fame. And hang upon this graves my woes, and praise her when I was done. Now, music, song, I will sing my hymn. Pardon, goddess of the night, those that slew thy virgin night, for the which with songs of woe round thy graves they go. Midnight assist our woes, help us to cry and groan. Heavenly, heavenly graves, come and heal your dead, until we uttered I sleep upon these bones tonight. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put your torches out. The wolves have preyed. And look, gentle day, before the wheels of Phoebus, round about dabbles the dreary east with spots of gray. I thank you. Now leave us. Fare you well.
Yes, masters. Each on his own way.
Come, let us hence, and put on other weeds. And then to Leonato's will we go.
With Hymen and greater issue speed, let us give to whom our will.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
I mean, wherefore the Prince and Claudio were also considered not innocent, as the error that you here debated. But so was Margaret, who seemed to have some part in that, whether or not it was against her will. 'Tis all part of the question.
Well, I'm glad all things sort so well.
And so am I, or else by faith being forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Daughter, and all you gentlemen withal, I pray you, go to a room where you yourselves can be alone. And when I ask for you, come hither masked. The Prince and Claudio are supposed to arrive to meet me within the hour. But you know your office, brother. You must go be father to your brother's daughter and give her to Prince Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, Signor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. But, Signor Leonato, truth it is, good Signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That my daughter seemed to have given her. 'Tis very true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
That which I think myself and Claudio and the Prince must have given to you. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical, but for my will is that your good will may stand with ours, this day to be joined in the state honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the Prince and Claudio.
Well, good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, Prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my brother's daughter?
I'll hold my mind to it, even if she were a monster.
Call her forth, brother. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Benedict. Why, what's the matter that you have such a February face, so full of frost, storm, and cloudiness?
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll pour thee horns with gold, as did Europa when he played the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had an amiable low, and some strange bull licked your father's cow, much like to you, for you have just his bleat.
And for this I owe you. Now, on to other reckonings. Which one of these is the maid I must seize upon?
This is she, and I do give you her.
Sweet, show me your face.
No, that you may not see her until you swear to marry her on this day in front of the friar.
All right. Give me your hands. My lady, I am your husband, if you wish it.
When I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing soon, sir. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And surely as I live, I am living.
The former hero? The hero that is dead!
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement I can testify after the holy rites are ended. But now, with wonder see familiar, to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name, and what is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no more than reason.
Why, then your uncle and the Prince and Claudio have been much deceived, for they swore you did.
And do you not love me?
Troth, no more than reason.
Oh, for then Margaret, Ursula, and my dear cousin have been deceived, for they did swear you did.
Well, they swore you were almost sick for me.
Well, they swore you were unnightly dead for me.
'Tis no such matter, then you do not love me.
Why, no, but in friendly recompense.
Come now, niece, you surely love the man.
And I would swear he loves her, for here lies a note, a sonnet, written in his own hand, fashioned for Beatrice.
And here's another written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pockets, containing her affection unto Benedict.
A miracle, our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have you. But by this light, I take you for pity.
Oh, and I will not deny you, for 'tis a good day. I have been yielded upon great persuasion, and heartily to save your life. For I was told you were in a great consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
Oh, how dost thou now, Benedict the married man?
I'll tell thee what,
Prince. A college of witchcrafters cannot flout me out of my humor. Do you think I care for a satire or an epigram? No! The man is to be beaten with brains I shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I shall think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it. And, therefore, never flout me for what I have said against it, for a man is a giddy thing. And this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did think you had beaten me, but in that thou art to be my kinsman, live unbruised and love my cousin.
I would have hoped to cajole thee out of the single life and made thee a double dealer, which thou wilt be if thy cousin had not such a narrow view for thee.
Come, we are friends. Let's have a dance. Ere we are married, we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
First of my word. Therefore, play music. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife. Get thee a wife.
My lord, your brother John is taken in flight and brought our men back to the sea.
Think not on this till tomorrow. I will devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers.